They're mass crimes. More than 2/3, or 67% national average, of children on psychotropic drugs that are in foster care, on an average of 7 drugs. And when they're questioned in the Texas legislature of why in this state 68%, higher than the national average, why more than 2/3 of the children are on these dangerous drugs, what tests have been done, what screening's been done, how do you even know these drugs are good when the drugs show they cause suicide and medical problems, physiological problems, not just mental problems, and they're told, oh, they come from bad gene pools. No judge, no jury, no assessment, just, oh, you're poor, we're taking you, oh, you're crying for your mommy when you're 4 years old, when we've taken you from your mommy. That's mental illness. Here, let us give you shock therapy, because we put you on Prozac and Ritalin, and you started cutting yourself and crying out for help. You've never been like that before, but now you don't like being locked in your room and fed 3 meager meals a day if you're lucky. Hundreds and hundreds of cases I've seen in the news, and they suppress them. There's more, where these foster parents lock children in cages and in some cases feed them 1 hot dog a day and 2 glasses of water, and they lay there. They lay there in fleas and ticks and in feces and urine and die. That's just one of the crimes. 1 million+ children grabbed a year. A mass extermination arm going on, wrecking their minds, poisoning them, drugging them. And by the time they're 14, 15 years old, they've been on dozens of drugs. Their minds are blown. They then put them into the state hospital for a few years, suck some more money out of the federal system that pays for bounties to do all this, and then they throw them out on the road to sit there talking to themselves, gibbering, their minds destroyed like zombies on the side of the road, begging for money, panhandling. And you drive by in your SUV and laugh at them. That's only one crime of the psychopaths. But if only 1 out of 100, or 1% are psychopaths, but 1 out of, you can debate the number, some sociologists, some psychologists say it's 1 out of 20, 1 out of 40. Whatever it is, there's more sociopaths than psychopaths. They will serve the dark side. They will do whatever is told, whatever is done. Just to them, life is all a competitive ladder. To stab people in the back, to cheat, to steal, to grovel, to do whatever it takes to put on the corporate garb, the clean-cut good guy in the suit. To do whatever it takes to get that power. And then there's still more who aren't sociopaths, but are rationalized, just decadent individuals who aren't even psychopaths, but are taking on some of the psychopaths' ideas and are beginning to believe that torture of children and murder of 1,200,000 Iraqis is okay as long as they look different from us, and who out of cowardice, who hear about the police state and hear about the checkpoints and go through the checkpoints, through cowardice, make the decision, as George Orwell said, to engage in Crime Stop, to decide it's all okay, to rationalize it's all right, to go along with it. You know, the example I like to use to illustrate what I'm talking about how good people are conned, and for what they believe is monetary gain, they're tricked like an animal, like a little fish in a pond when you drop a worm down on a hook, and you can't tell that little mindless fish, don't take the bait. But with humans, we have a chance that once we've been conned, once we've been ripped off, once we've been scammed, to pull out of the scam. But you see, more often than not, people who are being scammed, they stay in the scam. They get deeper into the scam. They habitualize and create a sick psychological fetish, or they transmute what's happening bad to them and then rationalize the situation and claim to themselves that they're really in control of it, that they're dealing with it, that everything's okay. You see this with compulsive gamblers who will bankrupt their family, lose their jobs, do everything, and then suddenly they're robbing banks. And none of it makes any sense. It's craziness. Or they're stealing from their family, or they're stealing from their job, because they can go back to the crap table the craps table. They can go back to the poker table. They can go back to the slot machines. They can go back to the roulette wheel and just try one more time, and then they're finally going to make it. Then they're going to be able to do it. Then they can go back and pay the money back, and nobody will know. In fact, in so many cases with embezzlement, when the individuals get caught, they say, well, I was going to pay it back. And in some cases, they even find that at first they do steal money and then pay it back. And then they do it over and over again and finally get caught. But one of the best analogies is what's been going on for the last at least 10 years. They come out of Thailand, they come out of Nigeria, they come out of these hives of scum and villainy where corruption can just run unabated. And they target the West, they target the most gullible population in the world, they target England and Europe, but the U.S. is the most gullible, Canada's gullible. People who live in the lap of luxury and have done well because of their ancestors' strength. You get an email in your inbox, and it says, I am the Empress Tabunga. I am the Princess Tabunga, and somehow my $14 million got tied up in the bank of Djibouti, and because my $14 million got tied up in the bank of Djibouti, I need someone to just give me $4,000 because it's a small banking fee that it just got confused. It's just quite normal. This has happened before. I'm just contacting you because I hear you're a person of rare taste and understanding, and it's just totally asinine. It's ridiculous to anyone that is living in the real world. But they say, you are going to get $1 million if you help me get my $14 million out. Here is my phone number. Please contact me. I am the Princess Kabungi. And I have known people, neighbors who believe this. I have had callers to the show who've called in over the years going, Alex, I just need $4,000. It's tied up in a bank in Nigeria. It's tied up in a bank in Israel. It's tied up in a bank in Thailand. And they are going to give me $1 million. Or $14 million of it as soon as I get it. I need you to have your people call this bank in Nigeria, and I'll give the $1 million, the $14 million to you. You've heard those callers here. I mean, this hoax, that's a known hoax for 10 years, I even get calls on the show about it. I get emails about it every few weeks. I've known a guy down the street one time started telling me, yeah, I'm talking to this princess, and she just needs $10,000. The scams always vary a bit. And I'm going to get, $5 million. And I'm like, no. And it's from Nigeria, right? Yeah. How'd you know? And they start looking at you paranoid. Well, it's my money. That's the American people for you. Totally delusional, having no idea what's going on, ready to be raped, ready to be scammed, ready to be taken to the cleaners. And the corruption and the scams and the businesses are everywhere. The evil is all over the place. But you see, that's the psychology. Because a lot of people go ahead and send the 2,000, the 4,000, the 5,000, the 10,000. It's always different. They go ahead and send it to Nigeria. They go ahead and wire it. And, they call the number, and the man goes, yes, this is Dr. Buzuki. Yes, I'm calling for the princess. Is she busy? She will call you back in 1 hour. She is with her counselor speaking to her people right now. Oh, well, tell the princess thank you. Oh. And the princess calls. We are prepared for you to talk to the princess. Ah, yes, thank you, Mrs. Johnson. I have had a very hard time with him and the rebels, and I only heard that you were good. Oh, who did you hear I was good from? We heard from friends. Oh, thank you. Princess, your Highness, I'm so honored to speak with you. Yes, well, we have heard you are good. Is the small amount coming that I need? Yes, I'm going to get it to you right now, Princess. Oh, I will give it to my associate, Dr. Abupi. Please send the money immediately. Can you wire it tomorrow? I want to thank you. You are now going to be part of my court for doing this. When I come to New York, I will see you. Oh, Princess, thank you. Oh, Princess. And they send the 4,000, and then a month later, Princess, when do I get the money? Well, things are tough now. They are not giving me the money. I need 5,000 more. Oh, princess, yes. Oh, princess, yes. And then they give the princess $5,000. And they start calling talk shows. Help me, Alex. I've given them $10,000 of my money, and the princess says I'll get it as soon as I give them this. And see, they can't admit they've been conned. It's the same thing with George Bush, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, the New World Order. It's with liberals, conservatives. They can't. It's just like a Nigerian scam. It's just a little more sophisticated.